This is a quick review of settings in XrayVision. When you open up the software, your toolbar may look very different than mine. They can be customized in all sorts of different ways. But in Tools and Options, that opens up all of these settings: the general, the interface, patient, image, printing, safety, database, sync, tooth control, time and date, notifications, and language. So let's start in the general. So the startup actions, please review these. I like this warning here to display a warning in case I am not in anybody's chart. If I've bridged over and something happened, and it'll give you that warning, such as this. I don't have a patient's chart open right now, and if I go try to take a 4 bite wings or an FMX, it's going to give me that notification. I kind of like that. We get in a hurry and we realize, oh, it didn't bridge over. So let's go back into Tools and Options and under General. I like the display that if I've canceled or aborted the process of taking images, our measurement units, we like millimeters in dentistry. And if you do want to have your Microsoft Word document, so make our way down and move all deleted items to the recycle bin and automatically clean up that program data folder directory once a week. Under Interface, this is, your desktop color, your background displays, the tooth controls. The tooth controls here, when I click on tooth controls, I have access when I am in a patient's chart. I have access to teeth, and I have access to both. Maybe you don't want both here. And you can minimize and increase, maximize that screen. This is nice if you want to quickly click on all. It's going to pull up your entire patient's history into categories of intraoral, your larger images, scanned images, photos, and miscellaneous. Other ways you use this: if you're interested in one tooth or two teeth or a region, highlight that area and it will pull up all of the images of that region that you selected. So do you need both adult and deciduous there? If you're a pedo practice, you might. So in Tools, Options, Interface. The Open Patient pop-up display, displaying the patient's name and the patient ID. I have my patients displayed. I like having their ID number displayed and the patient name. What that means is clearly my test patient has the patient ID of number 2, and we see that in the lower right hand corner. When we click on Open Patient, we'll see that if it's a single number, just to kind of show you a different patient. So this patient ID is 34. Do you want to see that or not want to see that? And that can be selected under Tools and Options. And you're left clicking on the interface, display the patient ID number, and you would want to uncheck hide that patient information. If that is checked, then you won't see that patient ID. And set initial focus to patient index field to last name. Maybe you prefer the first name or the last name. It's completely your call. When you're searching, if you're ever searching here in Open Patient, you see it's got first name, last name, and it's prompted to the last name. That's where the cursor is. Do you prefer that to be the first name or the ID? Tools and Options, left clicking on both of those, and left click on Interface. So labeling, after you've added a label, switch to a pointer mode, left mouse button only to create if you're labeling any of your images. So you may want to just explore all of these, but this image tiling, so this is important. I've unchecked mine, okay? And what that means is if this patient has multiple images and I want to left click, and open all those single images, when I say done, you see how they stack on top of each other, and it can be kind of aggravating and time consuming to separate those. You can change that under Tools and Options. Left click on Interface, and please put a check mark there to automatically tile them. And you can choose to automatically tile them horizontally. And so let's just show you the difference. Now, when I open individual images from a patient's chart, just left click, open 3 or 4 of those, single images, multiple dates, it will put them in that grid fashion. It kind of scatters them that I can see them all and separates them. That's a very nice feature. Tools and options again, left clicking on interface. So please explore some of these settings that may make your flow a little bit easier and more catered to what you like. Left click on patient. Make your way through here, patient identification requirements. Left click on imaging to include labels and stamp images, taken date label, auto place taken date label, and always use this JPEG factor. So review the miscellaneous here. So I've got mine highlighted when dragging images and layouts to automatically reassociate those tooth numbers. That's important. When you're rearranging images, you want that image to be automatically reassociated with that tile number. If you have CT scan, so please take a look through these settings to see what you prefer and what you don't. So this stamp, use this image stamp file and auto place that taken date labels. I'm going to uncheck that. And you can see here on this image, I've got this stamp on mine. Now when I take an image,
sensor ready.
I will no longer have that stamped because I've unchecked that. Do you want that stamp on the image or do you not? Tools, options, image, and that taken date labeling. Unchecking it, you will not have that stamp on there. Printing. So your printing options, do you want to mask their social security numbers, adjust the text font on the page, and your printing indents, signatures. If you do want to add a signature on the printed image, left click on add, type in your office name, address, phone number, whatever you guys prefer to have on your printed image, email. And when you say okay, it will be added to your printed when you're printing. You can also make your way to the header and the footer and explore some of these options as well. There's a drop down menu here. What do you want on your header and on the right hand side? What information do you want automatically included? So you can add that here, and you can even change the header or footer. Do you prefer that information to be at the top of the page, which is the header, or the bottom of the page, which is the footer? You can change the font, underline it, change your font size. Make your way down. And what information do you want printed when you're printing images? I've got comments, image teeth, patient ID, patient name. Choose what you want to be included. It's a preset for your printed images. And your image print size. And your multiple image printing options. You can do up to 4 images per page, 3 images a page, 2 images a page. Your print layouts. And no background color. So you can choose to have no color, and all of your colors here in your background color. Under safety, just make sure you've got this checked according to what you guys prefer or your IT company may prefer. And your database, make sure that if you do make changes, none of them will take effect until the application is restarted. Your synchronization, again, none of these changes will take effect until the application is restarted. You may want to confer with your IT team about those settings. Tooth control. Are you using the universal tooth dentitions added? Are you a vet office? Time and date. What is your time format? What is your date format? What do you prefer here? And you can also do a format sample. It's just kind of showing you. Put the year first. When I put the year first, the year comes first. Uncheck it, the year is last. So assign the time and date format that you prefer. And notifications, if you do want any notifications added, you may not need to check that at all. And language presets. So depending on your language. And you can select another language file. Just a quick overview of the tool options and all of the settings within XrayVision. If you have any further questions, please contact our support. Have your IT team look through this, your administrative users. Explore these features and functions. That way it's set up to your preferences.